Playoff time is the most exciting time of the year. But it also can tend to get a little bit confusing. So that's what I'm here to do, is give us the final and the newest playoff projection and how the teams in the AFC fare going into the final week of the season, what you can be rooting for as a Baltimore Ravens fan, and how Baltimore can clinch the AFC North and that number 3 seed. Welcome into the show, everybody. This is Ravens Rundown. I am your host, Joey Peterson, and I want to get a little bit petty, okay? The Browns report, they got 221 likes on yesterday's video. Why don't you say we just beat them, okay? We're about to beat them on Sunday. Let's just start beating them right now. Can we get to 250? That's the goal. If you hate the Browns, if you love the Ravens, go down there. Click that thumbs up button. So glad you guys are hanging out with us on Ravens Rundown. Let's take a look into the AFC playoff picture, see where Baltimore sits right now as long as everybody else in the AFC. So currently, just kind of how it's been all season long, and there will not be any more changes because they clinched that number 1 seed, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2 clinched as well. The Buffalo Bills with a 13-3 record right now. Baltimore sits at number 3 spot. The Texans have clinched that number 4 spot. They will not move. They will be there no matter what happens this weekend. Pittsburgh Steelers, they're at the number 5 spot, 10-6 record. Los Angeles Chargers, 10-6 with them. However, Steelers have won that head-to-head. Then that final spot in the wild card goes to the Denver Broncos, but Miami and Cincinnati, they're making their way back possibly into the playoff picture. So right now, if you look at the odds for Baltimore, there's a 98% chance, based from New York Times, that they end up with the number 3 seed. I guess they feel very confident on their ability to beat the Browns. I think they also feel pretty confident about Cincinnati's ability to beat the Steelers. Number 5 seed, 2% chance. So they're feeling good about us sticking where we are right now. But I want to hear how you guys are feeling, okay? We know how the New York Times feels. How are y'all feeling? If you think it's going to be the 3 seed, go ahead, type 3 for me in the comment section down below. If you think we're going to end up in the 5 seed, some tragedy is about to strike this upcoming weekend, go ahead and give me a 5. This is going to be a pinned comment on today's YouTube video. You might get hit with an ad break in just a couple of seconds. When that time comes, scroll down the comments section, find this pinned comment, and reply with your answer. Week 17 was a big one, ladies and gentlemen. Feels like a long time ago the Chiefs were playing on Christmas Day, same day as the Ravens played. They took down the Steelers 29-10. The Bills took down the Jets in big fashion, 40-14 to lock up that 2 seed. As we said earlier, Steelers lost to the Chiefs. Texans lost to the Ravens 30-2. Then the Chargers got a big win to clinch a playoff spot over the Patriots 40-7. The Broncos lost a close one in overtime against the Bengals 30-24. And the Colts lost 45-33 against the New York Giants, and that eliminated them from playoff contention. So what does it Week 18 look like? Well, the Chiefs are playing the Broncos in Denver, probably, if I'm assuming, going to rest some starters in that game. Same with the Bills as they take on the Patriots. Steelers, Bengals, Saturday night after we play the Browns, that one's going to be electric. Texans taking on the Titans, and then you got the Chargers at the Raiders. Broncos, of course, against the Chiefs. Bengals at the Steelers. Dolphins at 8-8, they're taking on the Jets. And there's only one spot left between the Broncos, Bengals, and the Dolphins. So I'm really excited to see how it all shapes out. So this is what we're rooting for, okay? I love doing this for you guys. You guys ask me, Joey, what do we need to be cheering for other than a Ravens win? Here's what I tell you. Obviously, you're cheering for Baltimore to win that game. You beat the Browns, you lock up that number 3 seed, plain and simple. And I know it seems kind of contradictory. Is that a word? Contradictive? One of the two of those. You want the Steelers to win. If you win, you want the Steelers to beat the Bengals. Because in my opinion, I don't want any part of Joe Burrow in the playoffs. I know you already beat them twice, but both times were really close games. One was decided in overtime. The other one was decided on the goal line when they were going for 2 to take the lead. And they've been playing a hell of a lot better as of recent. So I don't want to see Joe Burrow. So you hope the Steelers win, knock out Cincinnati. And then you also kind of hope Denver wins, okay? I want Denver to get that final spot in the playoffs because when push comes to shove, if there's a chance that they maybe win that first game against the Buffalo Bills, I would not mind seeing them in a different round, okay? I really wouldn't. I'm not that scared of Bo Nix. I'm more scared of Joe Burrow than I am of Bo, okay? Coming up on today's episode, some more clinching scenarios for the Baltimore Ravens, what they need to do to lock down that 3 seed, and why I feel confident in the rest of their playoff run. Before we get into any of that, I got to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video. That is PrizePicks. This episode is brought to you free because of our friends over there, and it is playoff time, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with PrizePicks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money on PrizePicks. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks now offers MasterCard for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineup. Think Lamar Jackson will get more than 250 passing yards next week? Well, Patrick Mahomes passed more than 1.5 touchdowns. Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on PrizePicks. I kind of went with a little hodgepodge this weekend of wide receiver PrizePicks, okay? I've got the more on Jamar Chase, 95.5 passing yards, the more on Jackson Smith and Jigba with 72.5, and I've got the less on Calvin Ridley, 78.5 receiving yards. So download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. Why? Because it's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. And we've been running our game all season long right here on Ravens Run. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, I got to ask you what you're doing, okay? We got daily Ravens videos, sometimes 2 times a day. We cover every breaking news thing that happens. We go live every single watch party. Every single game we're live on the channel, hour before, about 30 minutes after. The best part about it is turn the volume down. Make sure you got your headphones on. It's 100% free, okay? That's no secret. Shout out to the mountaintops. Join the 24,000 Ravens fans we've got here on the channel by clicking that subscribe button. So at the moment, your Baltimore Ravens are taking on the Los Angeles Chargers at home. If the season ended today, right now, and they started the playoffs, you'd be taking on Los Angeles in M&T Bank Stadium. But that may not happen, okay? There's a lot of things that can happen. So how do you make sure that you stay where you sit right now? Well, it's easy. You win. You beat the Browns like you're supposed to, and you win. Number 3 seed is clinched. Plain and simple. However, if worse comes to worse, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, losing to DTR or Bailey Zappi, whoever, or Jameis Winston, whoever's running out there for the Browns on Saturday, losing to them in Week 18, that would be pretty damn bad. But still, if Pitt loses then that night to Cincinnati, you still get the 3 seed. However, if you lose and Pittsburgh wins, they get the 3 seed, they win the AFC North, and you drop down to the 5 seed, you take on Houston in that first round. The good news out of all this, you got an 88% chance to beat Cleveland, okay? You got a really good chance to beat this team. And I know you had a good chance last time you played them, but guys, that was different. They're sitting right now, I think, the number 3 draft pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. At this point in their season, it is more valuable for that team to lose than it is to win. And you're playing them at home. And Jameis Winston most likely will not be their quarterback, who, say what you want about Jameis Winston, sometimes he can catch lightning in a bottle. Okay, so who will you play if you do win? Say you do beat Cleveland, which you got a good chance to do. Who are you taking on the first round of the playoffs? Well, if the Steelers win and the Chargers win, you take on the Chargers. If the Steelers win, the Chargers lose, you take on the Chargers. Steelers lose, Chargers lose, you take on the Chargers. You pick it up while I'm putting down here, pretty good chance to take on Los Angeles. However, if the Steelers lose and the Chargers win, they jump up to that 5 seed. Pittsburgh drops back to that 6 seed, and you take on the Pittsburgh Steelers at home in the first round of the playoffs. Of those 2 teams, though, who would you rather play? Say you do beat Cleveland, you're guaranteed to be that 3 spot. Who would you rather play out of those 2? If you'd want to take on the Steelers, go ahead and type Pitt for me in the comment section down below. If you'd rather take on the Chargers, go ahead and type LAC. So here's why I would be confident if you're taking on Pittsburgh. And again, I hope it's not Pittsburgh. I would much rather play Los Angeles. But if you do have to play Pittsburgh, push comes to shove, this is why I'd be confident. You just beat them by 2 touchdowns a couple of weeks ago. They've lost their last 3 games, all by pretty wide margins. 14 points, 19 points, okay? They've been losing a lot recently. And they also just, plain and simple, they lack offensive weapons, okay? Say what you want about Najee Harris. He hasn't panned out to the running back that everybody thought he would. George Pickens is a great receiver, but after him, I'm not too confident in anything they have in that wide receiver. Now, if we played Los Angeles, why would I be confident over Los Angeles, okay? Well, you beat them 30-23 on the road on Monday Night Football, and that really should have been 2 touchdowns. They scored a garbage touchdown late, and you kind of controlled that game from the opening whistle to the final one. Los Angeles, they're a Los Angeles team. They're playing outside. They're going to be on the road. They're traveling from sunny California, which right now, I'm no weatherman. I'm going to guess it's probably around 72 degrees, all the way to cold, gloomy Baltimore in early January to play a road game. I think that favors Baltimore heavily. Also, Justin Herbert's 0-1 in the playoffs. And I'm not necessarily saying like, oh, he's the only game he's played in the playoffs, he lost it. That's not necessarily like what I'm taking from his record. I'm more saying he's only played 1 playoff game. And if you remember the playoff game, it was an absolute choke job. Now, it takes a whole team to choke, not just a quarterback, but still, that was one of the worst playoff losses in NFL history. But if you do play Pittsburgh, there are some things that would make me a little less confident, okay? Number 1 is their defensive line. TJ Watt, Highsmith, Herbig. They've got a lot of guys up there. Cameron Hayward that can disrupt this quarterback, and they've given Lamar fits in his career. And that takes me to number 2. They've had this team's number recently. Before a couple weeks ago, 0-4 in the last 4 games. Okay? They know how to beat this team. And a lot of that is because they've got a head coach. That's where I go with number 3. Mike Tomlin, in my opinion, is a better head coach than John Harbaugh. So those are the 3 reasons why I wouldn't be confident over Pittsburgh. Let's flip over to the sunny side, to Los Angeles. I think Justin Herbert and Ladd McConkey have the ability to go off. I think Ladd McConkey is having one of the better rookie years in the NFL. And I think Justin Herbert, if things all go right, he can play with anybody. Number 2, it's hard to beat a team 2 times. Plain and simple, right? It's easy to beat a team once, kind of hard to beat them twice. And number 3, they have a really good pass rush. They got a lot of really great weapons, a lot of guys that can get to the passer. They're a physical football team, and I get it. Baltimore is too. But those are 3 reasons I necessarily would not be the most confident against Los Angeles. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. This has been Ravens Rundown. I am your host, Joey Peterson. If you haven't already and you like today's video, hit that sub button. It's free, and it guarantees you. And I'll see you next time.